Ever complained about your job? Well, after hearing about these bizarre ancient professions, you might just appreciate your 9 to 5 a little more. From human alarm clocks to professional mourners, let's dive into some of the weirdest jobs in history. Hey everyone, if you love weird history, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more crazy facts. Let's get started. 1. The knocker-up human alarm clock. Before alarm clocks, people needed someone to wake them up for work. Enter the knocker-up, a person whose job was to knock on your window with a long stick until you woke up. Imagine paying someone just to annoy you first thing in the morning. 1. The whipping boy, royal punishment stand-in. In medieval times, a prince couldn't be punished no matter how bad he was. Instead, a whipping boy took the punishment for him. The idea? The prince would feel bad seeing his friends suffer and behave better. Yeah, doesn't sound fair at all. 1. The groom of the stool, the king's bathroom assistant. This job was exactly what it sounds like, helping the king go to the bathroom. The groom of the stool assisted in wiping, cleaning, and keeping the royal toilet area pristine. But oddly enough, this job was an honor since it gave close access to the king. 1. Armpit sniffer, ancient odor inspector. Believe it or not, in some civilizations people were hired to sniff armpits. Their job was to test deodorants and perfumes for effectiveness. Imagine spending all day with your nose stuck in someone's sweaty pits. Yeah, no thanks. 1. Sin eater, consuming the dead's sins. In some cultures, people believed that sins could be transferred to food. Sin eaters were paid to eat bread placed on a dead person's chest, symbolically absorbing their sins. It was a well-paying job, but imagine eating the sins of murderers and thieves. Yikes! 1. The leech collector bloodsucker supplier. Before modern medicine, doctors used leeches to draw blood from patients, but someone had to collect them first. Leech collectors waded into muddy ponds and let leeches attach to them, then peeled them off and sold them. Talk about suffering for a paycheck. 1. The executioner, the medieval Grim Reaper. A terrifying but well-paid job, the executioner's task was to carry out punishments, from beheadings to hangings. But there was a catch: people feared and shunned executioners, meaning they lived in near total isolation. 1. The gong farmer collector of human waste. Medieval cities didn't have proper plumbing, so someone had to clean the waste pits. That's where the gong farmer came in. They worked at night, scooping out human waste and dumping it far from the city. It was disgusting but well paid. 1. The plague doctor, the 1600s frontline worker. Plague doctors wore bird-like masks filled with herbs to protect themselves while treating victims. While the outfit was iconic, the job was a death sentence. Most plague doctors rarely survived their work. 1. The rat catcher, medieval pest control. In medieval Europe, cities were overrun with rats, carriers of disease. Rat catchers used traps, trained animals, and even their bare hands to control infestations. Sometimes they'd keep the rats alive to sell as pets. Who wanted a pet rat back then? 1. The human scarecrow bird frightener. Before scarecrows were actual straw figures, real people were hired to stand in fields all day shooing away birds. Imagine waving your arms for hours, getting sunburned, and scaring crows for a few coins. 1. The funeral clown mourner with a sense of humor. In ancient Rome, some funerals hired clowns to imitate the dead person and make jokes. The idea was to cheer up mourners, but I'm guessing not everyone appreciated having a comedian at their loved one's funeral. 1. The resurrectionist grave robber for science. In the 18th and 19th centuries, medical schools needed fresh cadavers for dissection, but bodies were hard to come by. So, resurrectionists dug up fresh graves and sold the corpses to doctors. It was illegal, but very profitable. 1. The cat meat seller, medieval fast food vendor. In medieval Europe, some street vendors specialized in selling cat meat as food. Yep, while we love cats today, back then they were considered a cheap source of protein. Let's just hope people knew what they were eating. 1. The bad news bearer. The job no one wanted. Back in the day, messengers had the dangerous job of delivering bad news, like a lost battle or a natural disaster. And if the ruler wasn't happy, well, they might execute the messenger. Talk about a stressful job. And there you have it. 15 bizarre ancient jobs that will make you appreciate modern careers. Which one was the worst? Let me know in the comments. And if you love weird history, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more crazy facts. Until next time, stay